Now we're going to use custom actions using Zapier. All right, so let me show you what I created, and then I'll show you exactly how I did that. So I created this GPT called FishGuard. All right, so let's go to FishGuard, and we'll just use this right here. Boom. This whole GPT, custom GPT feature. All right, I'm getting tired of them just because I always allow. The custom GPT feature is obviously in beta. So, okay, it is enabled. There's also a such thing as prompt drift, which is as models are updated and changed, or as models are updated, then prompts that worked a particular way in the past, there we go, may not work the same once there's an update. So that's a constant struggle for me personally. So there you go. So I've retrieved information from the latest. It says that latest email is the latest instead of the last 5, but it tells you here's the subject of my latest email. I will review, and then so I have to tell it you are able to get that information on your own using the action. So this is going to take some. This is a problem with the current model in ChatGPT. I know for a fact that I have not used up 50 in my cap, and I have not. So a lot of people are reporting issues of getting cut off after like 15 attempts or something like that. So that's a problem, but it's okay. I can still show you how I set this up. Let me show you past, please. Okay. So here's what it looked like before. So I did all this, and it retrieved the emails from last emails, and it gave all this information. So, you know, some emails from Best Buy, reply to, links. It grabbed all this information from the last 5 emails. So that worked. And then I'll tell it, you know, because it says, what do you want to do? I'll say, check all this information. And then it did that, and it went through. It said the same thing. It said, hey, I'll need the following information. And then it goes through and analyzes everything, and it comes through with an analysis and kind of says, you know, so, and obviously it didn't finish here because I cut it off because I was like, okay, cool, it's working. So all right, let me show you how I set this up. So we're going to go to Explore. We're going to go see, it's in beta. We're going to click Create New GPT. Now, I don't even get into this kind of stuff yet. In fact, it's probably going to tell me, I don't know, it might tell me that I can't do it. Now, I have found one thing. When you're using the preview, it actually works beyond your cap. There's no cap in the preview. At least it was previously, so we'll check that. So the first thing that I do, and then to get started here, you can go to it's actions.zapier.com. And in here, it explains how you can go through and set all this up, how it works. And I will tell you that it wasn't as straightforward as the instructions. So you actually go here to this is AI alpha, not even beta, it's alpha. Okay. So if you go to actions.zapier.com/doc/platform/GPT, it will actually walk you through setting one up using a Google Calendar search and sending emails and getting alerts to your Slack and all of that. But it wasn't that straightforward. So it took me a little bit to figure this out, but you can start with here. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to copy this link. Then you're going to go back to where you're setting up here. You're going to go to configure. Don't even worry about talking to it right now. We're going to go to configure, and then we're going to go to create new action. And in here, you're going to click on import URL, and you're going to paste in that URL that we just copied. So now you're going to click import, and it's going to give you the schema. Now, I did try doing this with a general API, like from CVE and National Vulnerability Database, CVEs, to see if I can use just any API, and you can't. It has to be an API that's specifically set up for use with GPT. So we'll get more into that in a later session on maybe how to create your own. But for now, that's what we're doing here. So we're going to scroll down here now. It automatically populated these available actions. All right. So, and by the way, you have to put in a privacy policy here. So we're going to go to, well, let's just go to Zapier. We're going to go down here to, you know what, for right now, let's just go grab their privacy policy. So let's just go to, well, okay. Here, let's just go to, that's not what I wanted to do. Well, there we go. So privacy, I'm just going to click here. I'm going to copy this link. All right. And now I'm just going to paste that in here. And so that lets us do that. We don't need authentication for this. So now we just should be able to, I'm going to go back here. So now that we have this in here, that's fine. I'm going to go back here, and I will go ahead and say, let's see if it'll actually let me work here. I'm creating a GPT that will help help the everyday email user check their email for potential phishing attempts. This GPT will use custom actions connecting to Zapier actions. Okay. All right, cool. So in here, it looks like it's not taking our cap. Updating. All right, great. We're making progress. Cool. Now let's think of a name. So how about FishGuard? It's exactly what it called the last one. Let's call this, let's make this one different. How about Fish Alert? There we go. Cool. I like it. Okay, looks good. All right. All right, you guys following along? All right, now let's refine the context. To ensure it serves its purpose effectively, we need to clarify its goals. What specific actions or behaviors do you envision Fish Alert performing? Okay. It will use the Gmail find email action. Oh, the Zapier Gmail find email action to find the specified email or range of emails, and then analyze the sender, subject, content, links, and headers to see if the email might be a phishing attempt. Let's go there. And it's hot in here again. I don't know, every single time I'm doing these streams, it just gets extremely hot in here. All right. Well, it didn't do anything. It crapped out. Here we go. Now that we've defined fish alerts, role, and goals, that's right. Yeah, no, looks like we are ready to go. All right, and then I'm gonna okay. So now while it does that, there's a couple other things that we have to do here. First of all, I'm going to update these things here. I'm going to say here. Oh, I always do that. Anyway, okay. Oh, geez, I always do this. Whatever. All right. Analyze my last email to see if it might be a phishing attempt. Okay. I'm going to copy this and I'll go here and I'll say analyze my last 5 emails. You can do whatever you want here. I'm just adding these. Okay. What is email phishing? And let's add another one here. So what is fish alert? All right. I think that'll be good. All right. So now let's go back over to here. And now we have to copy this into the instructions. All right. I'm going to copy that and we're going to go into the instructions here. We'll click here to pop this out. And so this is what it created already. So fish alert is designed, blah, blah, blah. It gives you all this stuff here. So we're going to just go to the next line. We're going to pop that in. Now, we don't need this. I found we don't need this. Yeah. I don't think so. I did do this though. I kept this part there, and we're going to do action, and this is going to be Gmail find email. And the way that we're going to set this up is we're going to go, so first of all, you have to be sure that you're signed into Zapier, and you're going to go to the zapier.com/GPT/actions. And it'll bring you here and you will create add new action. And then you can search. So in this case, I just searched Gmail. I searched Outlook and I didn't see a find email because that's what we're going to be using here. It's going to, it has to have the ability to go through and find an email and then analyze that email. It's not doing that. So for right now, but this is a beginning guide and you can go through, there's all sorts of stuff you can do and use your imagination. But once you do that, so if we go, we find the Gmail, we could also do this, find email. And so there's the Gmail version. So there's lots of things you can do with different emails. So find a contact and you can just kind of see what's available. So I'm going to go back here because I've already done this. And so it makes a lot of incomplete actions when you do that. So has Gmail find email here. I'm going to click on that to edit it just to show you what happens when you do that. And it will, and you're going to connect your account to it. And then it'll give you options for all the search strings. So finding an email, it's simply just, you can specify a value, or you can have AI guess the value for this field. You want to set it for AI to guess the value of this field, because what commands and prompts you give it are going to kind of auto-populate that. So that's what you want. And then you're going to click done. Once you do that, so now that we have this updated here, okay, and so now we're going to go here and we're going to say update actions. So it's going to run through this. So it is available. You can proceed with your request. And if it wasn't available, it would have you set it up and walk you through it. So it's pretty awesome. So, so we're there. Now let's go ahead, and we should be able to save this now. And there we go. Probably not going to let us do it here because we're already capped out, but we'll see. Yeah, but if we go into here and we go to edit the GPT, we can play with it in here. So there we go. So starting the connection, it talked to it. Again, so we can edit this. It wants the specific search criteria. Okay, now I will use the Gmail find email action to locate your last email. Please provide me. And again, I'll just tell it, search my last email, and analyze the sender address, subject, content, links, and headers for potential phishing. There we go. Now, and I do know for a fact it's not hallucinating. That's the legitimate email. I've already checked. So it's kind of cool. So it says email analysis, phishing assessment, to known trusted, subject line. Just kind of gives you an analysis and talks about it. So that's kind of it on this one. So there you go. It kind of tells you. So headers can provide. Unfortunately, this information isn't available, and they provided data for. And so you can ask it, how do I get the headers? And you can paste it in and stuff like that. So if we go in here, you can fine tune this. So, you can go in here and fine tune this to tell it, always. Let me see if we can do that real quick. Should be able to tell it. So if a user confirms okay, so let's just modify this. So tell the user you were checking. Yeah, I can tell this. So to make a list, available actions given the output, check if the required action needed is in the available actions, and continue to step 4 if it is. If not, continue to step 2. So it's kind of cool. It's basically making sure that you have it set up and all that. And this is basically for a user if you're just kind of providing this to public so that they set it up with their logged in account. If you're doing this privately for you, you can probably just eliminate all this and just say, and I'll do that real quick. I'll say, step one, let's just do this. Let's say, assume the needed action is available and ready for use. Required action. All right. So then we should not have to worry about this. And then step two. Okay, let's just make sure we have step two here. Using the available action, returns ID, results, JSON, fill in the, you know what? There you go. All right, so let's just see if that will work. All right, so let's go here now and see if it automatically do that and assume. Nice. So it doesn't tell me to just go and assume it's set up. It's working a lot faster now. That scares me. It's taking a while. I think it crashed. So maybe we screwed it up. Maybe we shouldn't have done that. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, it's kind of. Oh. So I gave it permission. So, okay. It's not. It's like it's. I think maybe what we did was, no, there it is. Description, Gmail, find email. It's just not connecting. Well, let's see. Maybe it just kind of crapped out. Oh! Okay. So apparently it has two different sets. So, okay. All right. That's cool. We're done with this. All right. Let me show you kind of where I was working on with finding, with setting up for an API, a different API. So, I went to the National Vulnerability Database, the CVE API, to see if I can try to set up this, for retrieval, right? So I don't know if it's going to let me do the talking to it. All right, so let's create a new one. All right, so let's say, I don't know if it's going to let me here, but create a GPT that can search the NVD CVE API database via the API to give vulnerability data. The user will provide a vendor or product name, and the GPT will search the API, will call the API to search for that product name to find CVE entry / alerts. This will use custom actions. Okay, it won't let me do it. To be continued. But for now, I'll just show you what happens. So if I go into here and I say, okay, so here's the base URL. So I'm going to copy this, right? I copy that and I go into configure and I go to, and by the way, you can like just give it your own images and stuff like that. You don't have to have it generate something, and click there and upload a photo. All right. So let's just go over here to actions, and we go to import URL and we go to paste that. We click import. It grabs the schema, but could not find valid URL in servers. And so I've been looking for that, and I don't know exactly what that means. So it gives you all that. Now you can also, there's another way you can do it. Let's just get rid of all this. And if we go back over to the here, you can scroll down here to, let's put that up. And there are, I found it earlier, schemas. Here we go. Response. So CVE API, JSON schema. Let's go to the CVE API schema. You can also do the CVSS schema. Find, you know what? Let's just do that. Oh, let's try this one. So there's the schema there. That's a lot of stuff there. I'm just going to copy all of this, and I'm going to paste that in here. And again, it can't find any valid URL in the servers. And that's because the schema is not specifically set up to talk to GPTs. And so I don't think that's going to work. Now, one thing that we could possibly do is provide a proxy to where we send the GPT to, like, we build a proxy API that's set up for GPT, and then that goes and talks to other APIs and then brings back the information, fills it in. So it might be a good project for later to figure out how to do that. I'm in the process right now of building an OpenAI GPT proxy for Auto Tabletop, because I have to, and it's in beta testing now. So because Auto Tabletop has information that we don't want to expose on the client side for sensitivities because it's intellectual property. And so I'm in the and also we're building a proxy. This proxy is going to be used for red versus blue. Why? Because we want to enable large language model generative AI technology in red versus blue, but I don't want to have to make everybody put in their own API key, and I don't want to expose our API key. So we need a proxy for that to put it on server side. So all these can probably go together. So, all right, that is pretty much done there. I mean, that's what I had planned.